All right, so let us start today's topic. Then quickly, let me just see. So we started from what is this? Depreciation area chart of depreciation. Then account determination. Okay. Okay, 13, 14, 15. Okay, in the last class, number range we have maintained, and we started creating one asset class, furniture and fitting. Integration with the general ledger accounting also we have done only for area 1. Okay, then okay, so this was the scenario, and this is the one we are going to replicate in SAP, and we are going to understand each and every calculation. But I want to make some change here. Even though current period is 11, but I want to post this in period 10. Okay, so 10 means number of used period in year how many?
3.
It's 3, right? So this is the small change I want to do just for some reasons, for some further steps calculations. So we will post this in October month, period 10. Okay, so how much would be depreciation? This would be 30,000. And for period 10, how many months left? Should be 90,000, I think. This will
Yes.
be 90,000, not 10. It's 9 months left, right?
Yeah.
90,000. Same thing I'll do here. 10, 3. Then this is 10. This would be 10 months for 9 months. 45,000. See, total is 240. Right, 240,000. Okay, this is a small change I have done. But
The
apart from
depreciation in year 5, correct that, no? 9 months for local gap, huh?
all right, 9 months. This is how many months? This is also 9 months. Okay, no change here. Now from here we are going to start. So this calculation happens through something called depreciation key in asset accounting. So we'll say create or maintain depreciation key. Okay. So we have how many depreciation areas? Where is that? This one. So basically we have 3 depreciation area now, right? One area 1, area 21, and area 40. Delta depreciation is part of 21 only. It's like part of your parallel valuation. That's why we have given R4 here, R4 here, right? It's not something different. This is just a technical settings we have done. Otherwise, this area, delta depreciation area and local depreciation area, is the same only. It's like divided for some value to be posted in area 21 and some in 32. Ultimately, the value is going to updated in ledger R4, which is your parallel valuation ledger. So we will consider area 1 is the one and area 21 is the second, and then we have area 40 is for income tax area. So what we can do, either we can have 3 depreciation keys. Let's say area 40. IT depreciation area. For example, maybe for Indian income tax, this would be for 6 years. By the way, say 5 years. 5 years means what? 20%, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how much this would be? 240
60.
divided by 60. Yeah. 4,000. Is it 4,000 monthly?
Yes.
Okay. So we will keep this example in picture and we will configure system as per this one. So that means we will have 3 depreciation keys. Depreciation key 1 is with 50% depreciation rate, other 25 for parallel valuation, and for tax depreciation which is not going to post to any ledger group or any ledger, that will have 20% rate. Okay. So now let's go to SAP ORFA. Okay, so go to depreciation, go to valuation method, depreciation keys, calculation methods. Okay, so to create a depreciation key is a little complicated configurations. Different kind of formulas would be in there. Okay, so before we configure depreciation key, let me show you for example. So IN RN. If you see, some depreciation keys are already there. So if you see, we have calculation assignment, this kind of calculation assignments. So we need to configure first of all base method, multi-level methods. These two are the required one for our scenario, other two are not useful for us. So that's why before creating a depreciation key, we are going to create these methods. So first one, we will create the base method. Base method IFRS 50%, then base method 20%. So okay, we are going to create 3 depreciation keys with 3 different calculations. That's why we have to create 3 base methods. Okay, so how to create? Define base method. Go to new entries. Okay, so let's say RN01. What is your company code number? RN01, right?
Yes.
Okay, so say RN11 FRS base method 50% per annum. this description we will give some meaningful, and then type of depreciation. So this is called the ordinary depreciation method. We will see if there are a lot of kind of formulas or like rules. So we are going to use the stated percentage, like whatever percentage we say, not here in the description, in some other way, in some other place. So this should be calculated based on the percentage we specify. So that's why we have selected this one, and just I'll take a screenshot of this and save this. Go to next and create the new one. This is RN12. RN01 is your company code. Okay, save this. And so I have just created 3 base methods because we are going to create 3 depreciation keys with the different percentage. So I have created this. Now what is next? These are the 3. Okay, I'll take picture of this also. Okay, go back and we will see the next method. So declining balance method we don't use, but in depreciation key we get a field for this also. So we will choose the first one, which is just 0%. It's not going to do anything. And maximum method is also not used much, but this define multi-level method we are going to use. Define multi-level method. Okay, so go to new entries. 3 digit only we can give here. 01. Like depreciation should be started calculating from capitalization date or from the ordinary start date. So we have filled depreciation start date in the asset master records, and capitalization also is there. Okay, so system is saying like from where you want to calculate the actual depreciations, because maybe you have capitalized asset today but you may not use this for certain period of time. So that's why the start date for the depreciation and capitalization date can be different. So this is an ideal scenario that always you will going to use this date only. Okay, so we selected this, click on labels, go to new entry. So here we will just mention 99 masking, like okay, this means like this is valid up to 2 year of acquisition, like till which year this would be applicable, this would be valid. So we want it always activated, that's why we have given masking 9999. Okay, now base value, this thing which you work, this percentage will be calculated based on what? So there are so many different kind of values. Okay, like net book value is there, but this we will be doing based on the acquisition value, because this is a straight line method. If it is a WDV method, written down value method, then we will use the net book value. So whatever the percentage you state, that will be calculated based on the net book value, which would be reducing every year, every month. But in case of straight line, okay, whatever the percentage you specify, that would be calculated always on your acquisition value, not on the net book value. So that's why we select this one, acquisition value. And now what percentage you want to calculate? So you say 50%, because we said IFRS 50%, and this 50% is per annum. And that's why we are going to say that this asset would be fully depreciated within 2 years, because 50% every year.
Okay, and in real time, which method of depreciation is generally used, like SLM or WTV?
Both actually, it depends country to country. Okay, maybe nature of business also depends on that. It's not like something is used mostly. It's not like that. This is as per the tax law, country's law. Okay, in my client, they are using straight line balance method only. My client is in Australia, so they are using straight line balance. Okay, we can take an example of written down value also, but for this example, we will use this method only, just to calculate like round figure numbers for the better understanding.
Okay.
So I have created multi-level method. This is the method where we specify the percentage. Okay, so yes, I saved this. I want to create one more, two more. This is for IFRS. And then I will have one more for income tax. RM3, income tax is 20%. Ordinary depreciation, multi-level. Acquisition value, and this would be 20%. Okay, this screenshot will help us to understand the scenario, so just I kept it here. Okay, now what we have to do, mostly we will use these two methods. Then secondary mostly used is the period control method. I have not used this, but I can tell you the function of this is that okay, if you create a depreciation key, now we have taken the example here. The example here is like, doesn't matter on which date during the month, whenever you buy the asset, depreciation would be calculated for the entire month, right, for the entire period. Okay, the opposite to this scenario is depreciation to the date. So if you have acquired asset on 5th of month, so depreciation will be calculated for only 25 days. If your month have 30 days, so those 5 days will not be calculated. So how many days you have used the asset in a particular month or particular period, for those many days only depreciation would be calculated. That is the one. But in our case, we are just for the simplicity we are taking round figure numbers, so that's why we are not going to calculate depreciation based on the days, but we can test that also how this is doing. Okay, apart from this, so if you go to in the depreciation key, okay, here we have this option, depreciation to the day. If you check this one, now depreciation will be calculated per day. If you don't tick this, even if you buy your asset on 29th of the month, depreciation would be calculated for the entire month if you don't tick this checkbox. If you tick this checkbox, means every day per day depreciation would be calculated, but will be posted at the month end only. Okay, but how many days you have utilized the asset, for those many days only depreciation will be calculated. That is the use of this. Then okay, why I was explaining this, because in the period control method we have, apart from these two scenarios, we can have bit more complicated scenarios. Say like if asset is acquired by 14th, okay, so like first 15th day, right, first 15 days of the month, then like you calculate for the entire month, and say if you capitalized on 16th or 17th, then only calculate for the half of the period depreciation. Like this, there are so many different scenarios. Okay, so this is a bit complicated. See, like pro rata base, like pro rata at mid period, at mid year also. Okay, but mostly we will use depreciation to the day. So we have just done base method and multi-level method. Since in the depreciation key we have filled for period control also, so we are going to use the first one by default. Okay, so we have done this. Now we are going to create the depreciation key. Okay, now we are going to create depreciation key.